The so-called Istanbul Convention, or the Convention for Preventing and Combating Violence Against Women and Domestic Violence, has been slowly gaining acceptance across the West. And Israel, after long-held debate, is moving closer to signing on as well. But at the last moment, opposition to the move has arisen. Joining me with more is sister of domestic violence murder victim Michal Sela and founder and CEO of the Michal Sela Forum, Lili Ben-Ami. Lili, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Hi, Aaron.
All right, so first of all, tell us a little bit about Michal and her story for those in the audience who maybe are not familiar with it.
2.5 years ago, my young sister Michal, she was murdered in her own home by her husband, the father of her baby, breastfeeding baby girl. He choked her, beat her, and stabbed her 11 times. He was convicted of her murder, and he got life sentence. I was the last person to see her alive. I was with her 1.5 hours before the murder. I was witness in the murder trial. And we didn't see nothing. Also, Michal, I can tell you, she didn't know her life is in danger because there was no physical violence. It was emotional violence, which means he was obsessive, jealous with her. Where do you go? What do you do? Who you are talking to? And she was only 1 year married to him. And because he was so obsessive with her, she wanted to break up with him. At first, she took them together to therapy, counsel for couples. And when she saw it doesn't work, she said, I want a divorce. And this is when he killed her. And most women that are being murdered in their own home by their husband, it's when they are trying to break up with him.
So you, in the wake of this tragedy, this murder, you set up the Michal Sela Forum. How exactly does the forum work to reduce or address violence against women? Well,
when Michal was murdered, I asked so many questions, and one of them was, could we have saved her? Could we have prevented the murder? And I went and found what there is outside, and I found out that the way the country deals with domestic violence and femicide is after something very bad happened. You have police, welfare, and shelters. And I say, what about prevention? What about prediction? What about using technology and innovation to prevent the next femicides, to save lives of women and children in their own home? And this is why I built Michal Sela Forum. It's an NGO that we use technology and innovation to prevent domestic violence. Our partners are Google, Microsoft, Mobileye, Meta, Amdocs, Wix.
And how do you leverage technology for preventative action?
Every year we have an annual hackathon where we do it in the President's house. We do it on my sister's birthday on May. On this hackathon, it's a national hackathon, which means that thousands of engineers are participating in this hackathon. We're doing it with Google. And in this hackathon, it means it's a competition for engineers, for software engineers, where they come up with ideas, technological ideas that can save the next women in our own home. It's technologies that prevent domestic violence, and they compete. There are prizes, money, and other prizes. We have an accelerator program with Google for startups, which we give to the winners. We encourage the public, people from the high-tech industry, the startup nation of Israel, and we encourage the industry of security, homeland security experts. We bring them together with domestic violence experts, and we think out of the box, and we develop new ideas to save lives. And we did it 3 times already. We had 3 hackathons so far.
So, all right, I want to address now the Istanbul Convention, which is a misnomer, because we spoke earlier, you told me Istanbul actually dropped out of the convention later. But in any case, why is it important for Israel to sign on, and why isn't Israel signing on?
Look, Aaron, I built MSF, Michal Sela Forum, because I saw the field of domestic violence is neglected. It's like 50 years the same solution. And if you look on this convention, the Istanbul Convention, this Europe Committee Convention, it's the most progress committee there is. It's like a roadmap for countries to deal with domestic violence. It's very progressed. There are 45 states that signed this convention, and we need it. If you look the way the government deal with domestic violence, I give you one example. You know what when is the last time Israel count how many victims of domestic violence we have? When was the last research?
A couple of years ago.
The governmental, 21 years ago.
21 years?
21 years ago.
So all the other counts were non-governmental then?
There's almost none. You know, women and children, they pay with their lives. They are murderers. It's life and death issue, and nobody counts the numbers. Nobody check it. Nobody develop new solutions. And if we join this committee, it's the most advanced roadmap to deal with domestic violence.
Lili, I want to thank you again so much for coming in and joining us today. Lili Ben-Ami, the Michal Sela Forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, it's Emmanuel Kadosh. I wanted to invite you all to subscribe to ILTV+, where you can find our daily news and updates about Israel. And not only that, but live feeds, entertainment, our kosher food show, and so much more. Needless to say, your subscription to ILTV+ helps us grow and create more content while also supporting the state of Israel. Our app is available on all platforms and devices, so I'll see you guys there.